the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody, and good Thursday morning to you, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast. We are glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here on a Thursday morning from Birmingham, Alabama, from the Super 7 state championships. One game under our belt up here, the 7A championship game last night. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We got 3 more games today and 3 more on Friday. So want to make sure everybody knows we're keeping you right up to date on everything Auburn, though, not letting up. We had a couple people come up to us yesterday, Faith, and go, "What? How do y'all do everything that you're doing?" And I looked at one guy and I said, I really don't know, but we get it done somehow. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Super excited to talk about the new class that Auburn is signing right now, and some that signed yesterday. We get to see one of them play tomorrow or tonight. Is it tomorrow? In Saraland?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. So really excited. We'll talk. Yeah, every day is, just together.
Is every day a Friday or every day a Monday around here? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know it was even Thursday. But but we'll talk about him, later today. And then also we'll talk about him tomorrow because we'll be able to watch him play. So really excited about that. But yeah, Auburn definitely, talking about this first class that they've been signing right now, you got to think about how this is a good roster that Alex Golesh was left with. And it's also about going out and getting the right guys to, complement some of the guys that are already there that they can learn under, but still about the roster management of how much are you able to spend on keeping the guys here? How much can you spend on getting these guys signed? I know we were talking about this entire summer, Brett, about, the salary cap and how they're going to spend it on recruiting and in the NIL and stuff like that. And we thought August 1, there would be a huge announcement or a huge maybe flip of guys over to Auburn because Auburn waited. That didn't really happen. A lot of guys said, hey, wait until December. Hear what I have to say then. You'll know how much really is getting spent when you get to December. And, it's only December 4th. So, one full day of signing day and then, still a lot of time between February 3rd.
I look back on that and realize how stupid all that was. And we knew it was when we were talking about it. When we were at the event, the ambush event at Lake Martin, we were in there in that room and John Cohen was saying all that and nobody believed it. Nobody believed it. Did Brett hit a 3 last night?
We weren't at the basketball game.
We were not at the basketball game. So I did hit a 3 in the press box, though. A sidearm frisbee, basically no look, went right in. So, what can I say? So
no look is a little crazy, but
I was just kind of glad. It's just kind of out of the corner of my eye. But anyway.
Okay.
All right, whatever. But getting back to what we were talking about, nobody believed that. And everybody knew that was some kind of fabricate. Like, I'm just worried that John Cohen actually believed that. And that he thought that they were a trailblazer and really putting themselves out there saying, oh, everybody's going to conform to this. All right, we moved on from that. A lot of things have changed, so it doesn't matter. NIL is always going to be a concern moving forward, and your roster and making sure, like you just said, salary cap, roster management, however you want to. We figured out we all knew there was no roster. No salary cap. And that's where we all were going with it. And so I do feel like we wasted some time. I say we, Auburn. I feel like Auburn wasted some time in getting some things that we could have everybody else continued on down the path and we didn't, I guess is the thing I'm looking for. So now Alex Golesh is again, a great roster. Who is priority? Obviously we know got to keep these guys in place. And then the 15 that were added yesterday, which by the way gets Auburn up to what, 35 on 27, and not bad. That's kind of, it's pretty doggone good start.
Again, when you're left in the 55 to 60 range that Hugh Freeze had them in, which he was, supposed to be the recruiting god that everybody thought he was. And this class started really low. So if you're sitting there saying, oh, gosh, they're only at 35. I mean, for the last, 5 months, it's still been in the 55 to 60 range. It's been significantly lower than what every Auburn person probably would want. And that's just, again, what Alex Golesh is stepping into. Hugh Freeze stepped into a huge disaster that Brian Harsin left it, and he was able to, build some of it up. I'm not saying this is a huge disaster, but he is, you have to come into something. And yeah, in this way, you're coming into
a better situation for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But you're also coming into recruiting wasn't clearly the top priority for Hugh Freeze in his last couple of months at Auburn.
Not at all. And then since then, been on a podcast, kind of expressed his feelings on that, whatever. But because we've been expressing ours for several months, so everybody's entitled to their feelings. But the thing that I go back to, and again, you saw a lot of flips yesterday for different people.
Yeah.
So again, you can look back to the summer and say there were some missed opportunities. We were behind the 8 ball. Everybody was moving forward, and we were kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for things to change, which we knew they weren't going to change, and they didn't. So we just do what you got to do at this point. So let's talk about these. At the top, somebody you and I are very familiar with, somebody we'll see today, Jaquez Wilkes, playing for Wadley, trying to win another state title. The 1-1 last year against the same team they're playing. And we saw this from the beginning that it was Wadley Maplesville on the collision course, and they are here in Birmingham. So that will be a good football game at 3:00. You and I will be there for that. Hopefully get a chance to catch up with Jaquez, maybe either before the game. If they win, try to catch up with him after. If they lose, I'm sure he won't want to really talk about much, but we'll try to figure that out. But Jaquez Wilkes was tried and true through this whole thing, Faith. And I think there's a lot of that kind of goes under the radar with some of these guys. They were never wavering in their commitment to Auburn, and Jaquez Wilkes was right there at the top of that list.
When I met with Jaquez back over the summer, he talked about how he was really looking forward to Miami, Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, all these different places that were really pursuing him. And you and I both kind of said, oh gosh, that makes me kind of nervous. I was really hoping that he would, stay and maybe go to Auburn or something like that. And we talked to him, and he did express all of his options the way that you're supposed to. But once he decided to say, hey, I'm committing to Auburn, like you said, stayed tried and true. Like, he loves Auburn. And we've gotten to see him on the sideline when he was being recruited at some of the games and all that kind of stuff, where he was obviously disappointed with some of the outcomes of the games, but he still was saying, hey, I want to go here and make a difference. I mean, look at a lot of these guys that DJ Durkin is putting a lot of time and effort into. And, coming from a 1A school, you're going to be obviously hit with a lot of different competition, competitors, those kind of things. And I think he's ready to take the next step. And he most definitely looks ready to take the next step.
He does. One final game in high school for him today, so we'll be there for that. A big flip yesterday. One of the flips, Corey Wells, was one that Auburn had eyed for a long time. and a big defensive line. Like I want to stress how big it is to get a big-time defensive line recruit in every class. And Auburn got 2 in this class. By the way, we'll talk about the other one. But Corey Wells was part of Texas's class for a long time from Petal, Mississippi, 6'5", 330. And when you look at last night, Faith, on the lines of scrimmage, even in high school, when you win the line of scrimmage, you're going to put yourself in a phenomenal position to win almost every game. And I mean on both sides of the ball, offensive line and defensive line. And when you add Corey Wells to this, and Vontrell King Williams staying, I think, was a big part of that. That's we're talking about recruiting, but we're talking about retaining some of these key pieces of the staff too. DJ Durkin, Vontrell King Williams. Those are 2 guys that a lot of these recruits were saying, all right, how's this going to play out? And we talk about relationships all the time and how important they are. Corey Wells, I think that was a big time decision for him to flip to Auburn because of that.
Yeah, I think also when we kind of were unsure about Durkin staying, in those late hours leading up to signing day, that I can only imagine maybe if some of the recruits hadn't heard from anybody, that they kind of still were, these defensive recruits were, I don't know, like what to do, kind of puts them in a bad position.
You can't blame them.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. But I think having Durkin stay is the reason that a lot of these guys want to come and play for Auburn's defense.
Totally agree. Shadarius Tootle, that was a guy that Auburn was in on for a long time. It hurt there temporarily for him to flip to Georgia. It was very disappointing. And then you started hearing things of, hey, he may come back to Auburn. I don't think his heart ever left Auburn. I think he was enticed by Georgia. And when you get on some of these visits and things kind of come at you, I think that's what happened to Walker Kessler when he made that trip to North Carolina. I think he was so into Auburn the whole time. He goes to North Carolina and made a knee-jerk reaction decision and got there and realized that ain't where he wanted to be and ended up at Auburn, had a great career. I think Shadarius Tootle's heart was at Auburn the whole time. He was just kind of maybe in the moment when he committed to Georgia or flipped to Georgia.
Bless him, thinking he was going to go to Georgia.
Yeah, he made a good decision coming back to Auburn. 6'3", 210 pounds out of Cottage Hill in Mobile. Just a phenomenal athlete, the number 14 ranked player in the state. Getting him back, obviously his brother as well. We'll talk more about that as we move down the list. But Shadarius Tootle, Faith, was a massive sign yesterday for this Auburn defense. And when you're looking at Corey Wells and Shadarius Tootle and Jaquez Wilkes, the top 3 guys are defensive guys.
Absolutely. And again, huge win for Coach Durkin because he's obviously out there producing. And same thing with Vontrell King Williams. I mean, both of these guys really have put a lot of hard work into the defensive guys at Auburn, and we've seen what they can do. So I think, Auburn finally, they're taking baby steps,
Right. Justin said if this team would have won 10 games, this class would have been top 5, top 10 worst. Yeah. I mean, if being the key, we haven't won 10 games. We hadn't sniffed. That's the problem. And I get where you're going, Justin, and he did leave a good roster. I mean, but I think what you do in 48 hours, Alex Golesh, top 35 on 24/7, still work to do, still some guys to add. This is not over. I mean, this is 15 that they added yesterday, and they salvaged the majority of them. Would have loved to have had Braylon Womack in this class. That would have been another elite defender. Didn't work out for whatever reason. Ends up making that last-second decision to flip to Mississippi State, which was kind of odd. I know he's from Mississippi, but that wasn't even being talked about really. So I guess kudos to Jeff Lebby. They probably threw a boatload of money, NIL money at him to try to salvage an in-state guy. So, oh well.
To everybody in the comments that are talking about how, like, don't do Freeze like that, he did a great job recruiting, that's not fair. We literally said that
We
he
just
was
said,
left with a terrible roster and was able to go out there and recruit and get this roster really, really on top of the world. Now, he couldn't get the execution, and I think,
we were referring to the very end of his time.
yeah,
Like,
that's
it was
exactly
not
what we're
priority.
talking about. He
Yeah.
did not leave, he didn't he the priority towards the end was obviously not the recruiting, He was trying to get
What
this
his priority
team.
was, to be honest.
I don't
So,
Yeah, well, I was gonna say he was trying to get this team to win
yeah.
maybe during the season, but I don't really know if that's also the priority that was going on. But yeah, that's why I'm just saying I don't think that recruiting towards the end was the biggest priority, and that's why they were left in the 60, 55, that kind of range.
All of you, like Milan just said, that didn't like Freeze from the get-go, had a bad feeling. You were right. And I had a lot of people come up to me, and I'm sure you did, Faith, at that time when he was hired, and go, I thought, and then you and I
Coming
both,
from the Rebel, of course, they thought it was a bad hire.
oh, yeah, of course, I'm sure. And it ended up being. Really thought that he would utilize that opportunity to come back to the SEC and prove people, hey, look, I got unfinished business to do, and he didn't do it. So, Wayne Henry, another defender, a safety from St. Francis Academy. That's a big, big get. You go watch film on Wayne Henry, you'll see why. A lot of if you're getting a player from that St. Francis Academy up in Maryland, you're getting a great player. I don't care, man. They just play great football there. On down the hey, you did get Wilson Zaire. That's a big time offensive lineman. That's a legacy. His brother Killian, 6'6", 280 pounds. You and I've seen him about every Saturday at
Yeah.
Auburn on the sideline. He was a guy that Auburn had to go, and I said this back, remember, when we were talking about him. Auburn had to go win him. This was not, oh, your brother went to Auburn. It's just a given. Auburn had to recruit him hard. There were a lot of great programs after him, and it wasn't a given all the time. And so for him to end up in this class was a big get.
Yeah, I mean, you had Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, really going after him, trying to get him to go and commit there. And, like you said, he's well beyond, oh, just because your brother's here, let's offer you. I mean, this kid is talented. And so a big guy, like you said. So still he's got a lot to give to Auburn.
Right. Let's get down because we're getting a lot of comments about Tavion Branch. And I mean, again, here's this other elite defensive lineman. And if you go watch him and you go watch film and getting him from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I believe is how you say it. Get him from there, get him out of state. Obviously, he was a Penn State commit. Elite defensive lineman, 6'3", 300. You add him to Corey Wells. You got two really good defensive linemen in this class. He has not sent his papers in, to my knowledge, yet, Justin. I think they're working out some financial stuff with him. I think they were doing that with Killian. I'm not Killian, but Wilson Zaire as well. They got that fixed, and I think if it came in, it would have come in maybe late, but we saw Zaire get added, and I think you'll see Tavion Brown. I don't think there's a problem there. I don't think there's anything, and I think Mr. Albee just said the same thing. Said it. I think it happened last night. Again, I haven't seen it officially come across yet, but I think that'll be good. The other one we're waiting on is tomorrow, Faith, and Jace Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a high 4-star, another Mississippi kid, elite receiver, 6'2", 195 pounds. That's a massive, massive addition to the class if you can get him. if there's no drama tomorrow, let's hope not, because you're hearing LSU making a hard push there and maybe some other schools, but maybe he can go ahead and just get that sign on Friday and get it over to Auburn. That would be really, really good. And it's like Mr. Albee said, we got to have another elite receiver to add to this bunch, and we got to keep the ones we got.
Yeah, I think probably if you're looking at the receivers right now and the performance that they've had, maybe Jace Matthews and some of the other guys, you sit there and you say, "Oh gosh, I want to see the ball more than just that." And so, getting a new head coach in and getting hopefully either a transfer quarterback or a development from one of the quarterbacks that you have now, and moving the ball around, that's a huge maybe push for Jace and some other receivers, like we were just talking about Deshaun Spencer, to go and commit to Auburn and say, "Hey, I'm gonna see the ball."
And Deuce and Jace, man, good combination there. Justin, yeah, really good safety from. Faith had an interview with him. He was a lot better interview than Marquez Daniel was. But a better so. We'll see. I mean, he's right up the road. Very good safety. Very good safety. Auburn, he was committed to LSU from we walked into that interview and it was like, hey, look, this has been shut down for months. We kind of kidded with him about Auburn a little bit, and he's like, yeah, I get it. But, we were really there to talk to Marquez because he was, again, both of them were in the top 10, and you got literally 2 words out of him, too. And so
if anyone wants to go back and
rewatch
that, I don't think I can ever go relive that interview again. But
the shortest interview in interview history.
It still haunts me.
It wasn't your fault. I mean, all you can do is ask the questions, and if you have a yes, no, I don't know, yes answer, and really ain't much else to say. All right, here's a lot to say. Our partners here on the program, Faith, and we always start with Sensagreen.
Sensagreen, for air that's cool and clean, call them Sensagreen. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama, proud supporter of Auburn University and Auburn athletics, and a proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz podcast. With how the weather fluctuates so much, you want to get a reliable unit, and a carrier unit installed by Sensagreen is going to be the one. You want to know the people that are going to be working inside your house. And with Sensagreen, we know most of the people that work there, and they're just some of the best people ever. They're going to make sure that you're not getting scammed out of, maybe you need this, maybe you don't. And that's one of the best things these days is when you have somebody that you can rely on and trust.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm. Saw those guys last night. Saw Jay and Charles up here at the Super 7. Probably going to see them again today. They are just the best at what they do. And when they are working with $1 million budgets, hundreds of thousands of dollars for municipalities, boards of education, you're in great hands with Scout Program Management. Right here in Birmingham, Alabama is where they're located, where you and I are right now. Faith, as we look out our window here, and it just looks like it's cold. We know it's cold. It looks like it's cold. But I'll tell you what's not cold. Scout Program Management. They're hot, and they're the best in the business. And if you have a multi-million-dollar project going on, you need to call them to get them to handle it from start to finish. I promise you, that's why you hire them.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn for all the fun events that are going to be going on during the holidays. Get your holiday party at Bunkers. I can tell you right now, that's probably going to be one of the best places to go because you've got 2 different sides. So some people can go on the golf simulators. Some people can go in the dining room area, and then 2 different bars. So no one's going to be stepping all over each other. Go to Bunkers in downtown Auburn. You've got live music, great happy hour deals, great food, and all the fun.
Definitely a lot of fun. And the Cart Source, Alabama's premier golf cart superstore on Highway 280 as you're heading out of Auburn going toward Birmingham. It's right there in Davil. Right on the left. You can't miss it. If you look over and you see all those golf carts, you go, my gosh, it's such a great selection. Easy Go Cushman Yamaha Club car. If you're even contemplating buying a golf cart, you need to go to there. You need to go talk to Harrison. Call him, 334-231-2205. Man, they run a great business. Faith and I have been there a couple of times, and just the different variety of what you can get, the customized golf carts, the sound systems in these things, my gosh, and the custom wheels and everything that you can get is phenomenal. So go check out the Cart Source. You will not be disappointed. It's a few weeks from Christmas. I mean, if I woke up and had that outside, you talking about a very nice Christmas present. You can also be one of those Christmas presents, Faith, where you go, yeah, I'm buying it for so-and-so, but you're really buying it for yourself. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get that for them, but you know you're going to use it as much as somebody else. So,
yeah, getting it for the kids and
not saying that's what people
parents.
do, but kind of saying that's what people do. So, all right, MS said, could Womack hit the portal in? I mean, technically, we saw that happen with that Oregon guy. I mean, he went to the Rose Bowl with the team, got in the portal after the game, went to I think USC, which was wild. So I mean, you only have one portal window now, so I mean, I guess technically anything is possible. Wish we could have landed Womack. Good with Winters and new boy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just two really great safeties. I think we saw a lot more of Eric Winters this year than we did New Boy. I definitely think his time's coming, though. I mean, we bragged on him. Faith, I know you were very impressed with his football IQ during the spring and even into the fall. But, you know, we knew there was it was crowded back there in the secondary for Auburn, and ended up being a pretty good year for those guys. So I think he's going to get his time.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, again, really impressed with New Boy Fagans, and I think he's got a lot of talent. And you know, we saw him in a few games, but I think just the more he practices and the more, you know, experience he gets underneath his belt, his football IQ from what it is now is going to explode.
I have to laugh at the comment from Justin. Yet, Justin, the memories that we have had up here as I look out this window and see back-to-back traffic not moving. I'm like, how do you do this every day? Like the traffic going into Birmingham, Faith, as you look out your window, I mean, it's just stopped. And it's like, I'm sorry, hate to get off subject for a second, but I'd just rather not. And I know some people have no choice. This is to do that every single morning, to fight that, I would just – and the traffic coming up here yesterday, by the way, I felt like I was in Mario Kart. I've never in my life seen it's just horrendous. There's no, and it's just brutally cold. But yeah, we've had some crazy memories up here in Birmingham. We're going to continue to make a lot more. 2 more nights or 2 more days up here in Birmingham for Super 7. We'll be bringing all of that to you on the AHSA Radio Network. Hey, last night, I know a lot of people watching probably in the Opelika area saw a lot of Opelika people up here last night. That was not what you guys were expecting. It was a tough loss. It got away from Opelika early. I mean, Thompson just is a machine. And again, we don't really talk about Alabama commitments, but you got to talk about Trent Seaborn in that game. This guy's been doing this since 8th grade, and he just continues to wow. The throws, the decision. You know, Faith, you and I have watched a year's worth of quarterbacks who can't make a decision, especially Jackson Arnold. To watch the ball come out of Trent Seaborn's hands and then to know immediately where he's going with the ball and the design of the offense and the confidence is just – it's eye-popping. But you were on the sideline last night for the game. Outstanding job, by the way, braving the elements down there. It was bitter cold. But, you know, when you look at it from a standpoint, Opelika still fought. I know the score doesn't show it, but you were on their sideline for majority of the night. You talked to Coach Moore going into the locker room. And, you know, at that point, they kind of knew the handwriting was on the wall, but they fought to the end.
Yeah, a lot of respect for Coach Moore. I mean, he's awesome, really, really great coach, and still advocating for his guys throughout the entire game. I know there were a few calls that maybe didn't go Opelika's way, and a few actually that I feel like I saw and maybe could have gone the other way in
Right.
Opelika's favor. But honestly, I really do think that um, Opelika they fought their hearts out, and they got a little bit of momentum towards the end of the game, but that was kind of because Thompson had started to put in some other guys, and um, but it's always great to make it to a state championship, but it was tough. I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for a lot of the guys, and especially the guys that weren't going in, that were just standing on the sidelines. I know that they were really, really cold because Opelika was really keeping their first and second strings in. Weren't able to really move it around like Thompson was in position, so it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a dominating performance nonetheless. So, all right. We talked about recruiting, obviously huge there. Um, and again, got work to do. Going to add some more people. Going to get in the portal. Just going to watch all of this kind of transpire. But currently on 24/7, ranked 35th in the country. So look, it was a lot worse, and I think it can get even better. And then plus roster retention, got to keep that. All right, let's flip over real quick. We obviously were not there last night at the basketball game, but Auburn gets a win. Just from what we were watching while we were doing the game, we were multitasking. We were doing like we said, like somebody came in the booth and said, I don't know how you and Faith do all this stuff. I don't know how y'all are like, well, you just figure it out, So yeah, MS, I don't know that Faith needs to add another job to her repertoire. And like knowing Faith, I don't know if there's a lot of great things out there, but I don't know about monitoring players.
I don't think I want to do that. That sounds like a nightmare.
Plus in this
Above
business,
my pay grade.
and in that business, I'll just say, there one day, gone the next. And you're you're there with whoever's there and then out the door. So 522 yards was crazy last night. I've just never in my life.
Well, at the beginning, wasn't it like 207 to 7 total offensive yards? That was crazy.
At one point in time, and again, I hate to say this stuff, but Thompson had 41 points and Opelika had 40 yards of offense. 41 points. Tucker, I wish I was duck hunting. Like, this is duck hunting weather. I got text last night during the game. Just, hey, man, you going duck? Well, Brett ain't ever going to go duck hunting again. Like, I don't fish anymore. I don't hunt anymore. All I do is work. I had somebody send me a text last night, workaholic, unfortunately. It takes it to do all the stuff we're doing. But, hey, that's what we're here for. We're here for you guys, right?
You'd rather be a workaholic than other holics, so.
Right. It could be worse. Could be worse. So at least it's productive, I guess. Auburn wins 83-73 over NC State in the SEC ACC Challenge. The story, the turnovers for Auburn, 20. But Kevin Overton, have a night, dude. And, of course, Keyshawn Hall. It's every single time. Overton with 29 points, though. And this is what we were talking about this Auburn basketball team, Faith. There's some guys on this team on any given night can go for almost 30. And Overton, like, what was it? Obviously the Michigan game, did he have like either 0 or 4 points, something like that? And I know Michigan had a lot to do with it, but you knew what Kevin Overton was capable of doing. He came in as a defensive guy, said he wanted to work on his offensive game. It showed last night, but Keyshawn Hall is the most reliable, dependable, know you're going to get 20 almost every night out of him guy. And it took those two guys having great nights. If they don't, Auburn loses. You can't turn the ball over 20 times. And Stephen Pearl in the postgame press conference, that's all he talked about. He's like, we won, but if we're ever going to beat anybody worth a darn, you can't turn the ball. He was just disgusted with the ball security and the carelessness of the turnovers. So, hey, but you get a win. It's a lot better to break down games after a win than it is a loss.
Yeah, no question. Keyshawn Hall with a double-double. I mean, a good night for them. Tahad, though, Brett, 6 points.
He plays so well on the road, and Tubbs just came up, and I think he meant it differently, with Todd playing so much better away from home. I think is what he meant to say, not at home, because he's not playing good at home. He's staying out too late. I don't know that. That's a good speculation. Why does he play so well on the road? This is a common pattern. I mean, 1 of 7 shooting the basketball last night.
0 for 3 from the
But you
3-point
put
line.
him in a tournament in Las Vegas, or you put him in something away from Auburn, and it's like 25 and 6 or 7. I mean, it's like the guy plays out of his mind. Is there something to that? I don't know.
Yeah. What I can say is free throws look a lot better. 86%. So 19 of 22. That's a lot better
Much
than what
Hey,
it has been.
shots, 12 of 22, but a majority of that came obviously from Keyshawn Hall and Kevin Overton. I mean, 11 of the 12. 11 of the 12 came from those two guys. 11 of the 12 threes.
Yeah, but you know, still obviously a lot of work to do.
I'm still worried about the depth, Faith. I mean, if you look at the box score, NC State played 10 guys last night. And 7 of them got significant minutes. When you look at Auburn, I mean, it's 5 guys, man, and they got Jovic come back. But outside of that, there's just not a lot to pull from right now. It's like, and you're getting a lot of minutes out of. I mean, you got 15 out of Murphy, and I had some people texting us last night saying that we got to get Freeman in the game more. Freeman's got to get more minutes. Only got 18 last night. Maybe that was, in the flow of the game. That's what Stephen Pearl didn't feel like he needed any more minutes. But, 36 minutes from Hall, 38 from Overton, 32 from Petterford. Sebastian Williams-Adams got 27. Most of these guys are playing the majority of the game.
Yeah.
So depth has got to – it's got to start showing up.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And Justin, yeah, I know that Tahad led in Vegas in points per game. It's still at these home games where
that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, where it's like, where is he? How is he not showing up the way that he did last year, or even in the combine?
Good question. Just not getting it done in Neville Arena. I don't know if he's pressing too much. I don't know. It's just odd how his point production and his performance overall is so much better away from Neville Arena than it is at home. So, all right, moving forward, Auburn has no rest for the weary in Auburn basketball. You turn the page, and Saturday you go to Arizona, who is number 2 in the country and 7-0. So Auburn has played Houston, who was number 1. They've got Purdue coming up on December the 20th, who's number 1 right now. And now they got Arizona, who's number 2. So, you're getting a great pre-SEC schedule. You're getting tested to the max. So anyway, just one of those situations. So, yeah, we didn't take it that way, Justin.
Yeah, no.
Not at all. Not at all. Just – yeah, you bring up good points, kind of what we were saying. It's unreal being in Las Vegas and showing out, and then you think you would come back to a place you shoot baskets in that gym all the time. You practice in there. Your level of comfort should be high, and it's the opposite of that. Sometimes things in sports are just weird. It's just you don't have any answer for why things happen the way they do. And And so, yeah, we'll kind of see. All right, we got a couple more partners here on the program that we want to talk about, and it's Christmas time, and you need to be checking them out, right?
Yes, Oliver Ross, for all your holiday parties, work conventions, whatever it is, get Oliver Ross to be the bartending service for you. They are licensed professional bartenders. They come in there, they set everything up themselves, and then they will break it all down after serving you and your guest. You can focus on hosting or entertaining, whatever it is, and Oliver Ross will take care of the bartending.
Yep. Got a call on Oliver Ross. And Russell Medical Center, one of the top 3 hospitals here in the state of Alabama, located in Alexander City. Small town environment, big time medical care, health care should be and will be always top priority for anybody. You need to check them out. They are partnered with UAB Health, top notch doctors, top notch facilities, everything you're looking for. And you don't have to fight what I'm looking at out here, right outside my hotel window in downtown Birmingham, where cars literally are moving feet per minute. I just don't know how anybody gets anywhere. So you don't have to worry about that when you go to Alex City. You go to Russell Medical Center, and if they don't have what you need there, they're going to take care of you and get you to the right place. So check out Russell Medical Center in Alexander City for all your healthcare needs. All right. Yes, sir. There you go, Justin. You know about that. A lot of weddings and stuff going on around Christmas. And a lot of things that are going on outside of that. So you need to always make Oliver Ross part of your plans. All right, Faith, we got a busy day ahead of us. Let's pray the weather holds off. I hope it does. It's just gloomy outside right now. It's just not.
Whoa, opening up the window, it's so cold.
Oh, it's just freezing. All right, if you want to look and draw a picture of what it looks like to be cold and miserable, that's what we're looking at right now outside this window. So if it's raining, you won't be on the sideline. So not going to make you stand down there, especially when it's the high 40 today. Is that right? Is that what we're looking at? Gosh, the sky bar is a curse. Yep. And I'm telling you, looking at the radar, that's not pretty. A lot in South Alabama may dodge it, so we'll see how it works. All right, Faith, do you have anything else to add before we get off this morning?
Everyone has the best day ever. Stay warm.
Yes, absolutely. Stay warm. Do something nice for people. Be nice. Smile. So much easier to do that than it is to go in the other direction. So reminder, Auburn Blitz will be back on at noon. It will not be us today. It will be Andy and Jim today. So make sure you tune that in. And then Faith and I will be back with you in the morning for another edition of the Auburn Blitz live from the interstate right here, literally outside of the windows of our hotel as we look. So y'all be careful out there. Be safe. And we will see you tomorrow for more of the Auburn Blitz.